1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Test, test. Elite flubs. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to beautiful Redmond, Washington for today's encounter between the Concorde Fire of Atlanta, Georgia, and the hometown team, the Washington Crossfire of Redmond, WA. Hi again, I'm Sebastián Moraga, and this is the last matchup of the group for these two teams. Each of them have one win and one tie. So this clash of titans is going to be for all the marbles within the group here in the ECNL playoffs. We're just about ready to start. Let me tell you really quick the starting lineups. First for the Concorde Fire from Atlanta, Georgia. On goal, number 21, Krzyzowski. Number 28, Ammon. Number 19, Gastaldi. Number 6, Glisson. Number 13, Hullman. Number 15, Hendrickson. Number 20, McGinnity. Number 10, Utt. Number 16, Rivera. Number 5, Rodriguez. And number 00, Saraki. The subs, number 4, Colangelo, number 29, Logsdon, and number 7, Bogle. For the Washington Crossfire, on goal, number 13, Derricks, number 10, Suter, number 16, Hyatt, number 1, Wall, number 17, Flora, number 20, Ruthering, number 12, Woodward, number 8, Twite, number 24, Corbin, number 11, Schultz, number 28, Briscoe. The subs for the Washington Crossfire, full contingent of them as a matter of fact. Number 15, Rude. Number 3, Haslett. Number 99, Barker. Number 27, Young. Number 5, Weedman. Number 7, Beck. Number 14, Witherspoon. Number 9, Shattuck. And number 2, McAfee. The Atlanta team, dressed entirely in, well, almost entirely in white. The socks tend to be more like off-white, kind of grayish. And we'll take care of business from right to left on your screen. The Washington Crossfire will do the proper thing from left to right, and they will start this contest as soon as the referee says it's okay to do so. He checks his watch, whistle to the mouth, and we're in business here at 60 Acres Park in Redmond. A quick touch up the field for the Crossfire. Now a Suter pushing it upfield across the equator. Battling it out now is Briscoe, recovered by the Concorde Fire. Quickly scooped up back by the Crossfire. Woodward across the center alley for the left flank. Pushing it upfield for Schultz. Rejected by the back line of the Atlanta squad. And before anything could happen, a clearing by the goalkeeper, Derricks, for the Crossfire. Long kick up the field. Defensive maneuver now for Zaraki. The turn doesn't quite work as expected. She gets a little tangled up in one of those stands, one of those ads that we have at the behind the touchline there. So we're going to have a throw-in, the first one of the game, and it should benefit the Washington Crossfire. There's the quick touch. Schultz, top of the box. Clear away by Gastaldi. Stopped at midfield by the Crossfire via Suter. Whistle on the play, foul called. It should be Atlanta ball, and it is. It's going to be the goalkeeper, Krasowski, taking care of this one. All but one Crossfire player on her own half of the field. Kick along the stripe doesn't quite work. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for Washington. Over to scoop it up as Briscoe. To her it goes. Trying to tame it with the torso. Scooped up by Glisson. Glisson, the turn, marked by 2. Shot across doesn't quite work. Nimbly stopped that time by the goalkeeper. And it will be Crossfire ball, but not for long, because here comes the Concorde. Seraki along the right flank. Shading to her left. The pass for Gastaldi. Gastaldi approaching the top of the box. Glisson cleared away partially by Washington. Washington on the move now. Hendrickson on the mark. Back to the Washington team. Switching over to the right flank. Across midfield it will go. Interrupted by Hullman. The quick touch. Nice touch by Gastaldi. Pushing upfield down the center alley. Cleared away. No foul, says the referee. The Crossfire player shakes off the mark of 1, but not by 2. The ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Concorde Fire. Good triangulation that time. Gastaldi. Recovered by Twite for Washington. Twite along the left flank. Schultz. She's got some room. Marked by Hullman. Leaves one behind. Now the mark is by Rivera. Shot across, top of the box. Waiting for it is Corbin. Corbin delivers a shot, and the stop. Down and to her left by the goalkeeper for the Concorde Fire, Krasowski. This is the Elite Clubs National League Playoffs. Coming to you from Redmond, Washington. Long kick up the field that time. Schultz on the header. Ruthering across the equator. Touch for Twite. Has to back up a little bit. Ruthering. Trying to make some room. Ruthering again. Switching over to her right for Woodward. Straight up. Still on the Washington half of the field now. They go across. Ruthering. Good move. The through ball. Interesting move. Top of the box. And before Schultz could connect, a couple of Atlanta legs got in the way to clear the danger, but only partially, because here come the Crossfire once again. Still deep along the left flank. Whistle on the play. Nope. The Washington Crossfire players were hoping for a whistle, but it's only going to be a goal kick for the Concorde. 0-0 tie so far here at 60 Acres Park. Long kick along the right flank of the defense. Flora's going to let it go by. Take care of restarting the action via a throw-in, benefiting the Washington Crossfire. There's the throw-in. Back to Flora. The clearing doesn't quite work. Trying again for Washington is Hyatt. Flag is up. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be Atlanta ball. The Concorde team from Atlanta, Georgia. The jewel of the South, as Will Ferrell used to call it in his Harry Carey impression on Saturday Night Live many, many years ago. Ball goes out of bounds once again. Throwing for the Crossfire. Twite. Cross midfield. Cleared away by Hendrickson. Pushing for the Concorde, Glisson. And the stop by the goalkeeper for Washington, Derricks. The skywriting kick. Over to chase it. Looked like Dwight. Stopped nimbly, however, by Krasowski. At the edge of the box. Pushing the pause button for a second. Kick right to midfield. Response by Rothering. Pushed back again by the Concorde. Along the right stripe they go. Hyatt. Taken back by the Atlanta team. This could be interesting. Before anything could happen, one of the defenders delivers it back to the goalkeeper, who clears it with more urgency than style that time to send it to the throw-in. There's the kick, the header, and the hands of the goalkeeper for Washington, Derricks. Long kick up the field. Rejected by Holman. Looking for it is Glisson. Chasing it also for Washington is Wall. The touch for Briscoe doesn't quite work. Back to the goalkeeper it goes. Goal kick for Washington. Long kick up the field. Defensive maneuver by the Concorde. Ott. That one's Ammon. Along the left stripe. Over to Scoopers McGinnity. She's being pushed from behind, no call. She retaliates on the push, no call either. Trying again for the crossfire is Woodward. Marked by Ott. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be Washington ball, and it is. There's the throw-in. Washington on the move once again. Dwight. Rejected by the Concorde. McGinnity trying again. Just barely into Concorde territory. Opening the game up to her left. The quick give and go there. Back to McGinnity. McGinnity. Marked by Hendrickson. Whistle on the play. McGinnity hits the deck. And it should be a free kick for Washington. I'm guessing about maybe 24, 25 yards. Thereabouts. Let's see how many go on the wall. Let's see whether the 10-yard distance is respected. Looks like the referee is going to enforce it. 10 yards, 9 meters 15 if you're into the metric system, whichever you want. Free kick for Washington. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Atlanta players on the wall. 1 Washington player. There's the shot. Bounces off. Defender. And then it bounces off the crossbar. And it should be a corner kick for Washington. The first one of the game for either team. So let's make a note of that. Corner kick number 1. For the crossfire. Short kick this time. The screen, Dwight, the shot, Dwight, and the diving effort by Krasowski to send it to another corner kick. Good effort that time by the crossfire, and an even more sterling effort by the goalkeeper for the Concorde Fire. Corner kick number 2 now for Washington. Playing, like we said, on their home zip code, so to speak, of Redmond, WA. The kick over to the left flank. Doesn't quite work. Cleared away with more strength than elegance by the back line of Atlanta, but it worked. It's going to be a throw-in for Washington. These are the Elite Club National League Group Playoffs from the Evergreen State. Shot across from the left side. Bit too wide. Not too much to worry about for Krasowski. It will be a goal kick for the Concorde Fire. Not exactly rushing, but not exactly slowing the pace down either, this goalkeeper. There's plenty of soccer ahead. 45 minutes per side. It's a U17 game. There's the header to make it across into Washington territory. Clearing doesn't quite work. Over to Scupito is McGinnity. Doesn't quite work either. But the last one to touch it inbounds, or rather when the ball was inbounds, had a blue jersey on, so it will be Concorde ball. There's a throw in by Ammon. The touch for Rodriguez. Rodriguez and Hendrickson across the center alley. One number up for Rivera. Whistle on the play. Nope. Play continues. Good steal that time. Good takeaway by number 11, Schultz. She's got some speed on her. Look at her go. Leaving one behind, leaving two behind, and can make it past Holman. Referee says play continues. Rivera. Holman. Across into the other side it goes. Whistle on the play. We'll see what the referee says. It's a free kick, indirect free kick for the Crossfire. Along the stripe it goes. Bounces off a defender. Trying again for the Crossfire. It's Corbin. The defensive effort twice in a row. A header by the Atlanta team. Pushing it upfield. Past the center circle. Interruption that time by the Crossfire. Along the right flank goes Suter to the top of the box. It was Holman. Holman to nowhere. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for the Washington Crossfire. Still tied 0-0 against the Concorde Fire of Atlanta, Georgia. The throw in for Concorde. Trying to move the ball up is Hendrickson. The bounce, recovered by McGinnity. Trying again is Ammon, lets it go out of bounds. Throwing for the Concorde Fire once again. And before anything could happen, Hyatt sends it for another throw-in, this time farther up the field into Washington territory. Third consecutive throw-in in a row. The team's still not putting a whole lot of meat in the grill. Still not taking a lot of unnecessary chances. Still measuring each other up. Ball goes out of bounds once again. And then there were four. Taking care of this one is Ott. Rodriguez. Cleared away by the Washington squad. Briscoe drops to the ground, picks herself up, touches the ball with her hand, it looks like. Nope, play continues. McKennedy. Recovered by the Concorde Fire. Scooped up once again by Briscoe. Into Concorde territory. The good give and go doesn't quite work. Flag is up. None of that counted. There was an offside. So it should be indirect free kick for the Concorde Fire. Referee still has his hand. Play resumes along the right flank of the Atlanta defense into Washington territory. The stop by Flora. Taken back by an Atlanta player, but ball went out of bounds on that shot by Flora, so it will be a throw-in for the Concorde Fire along the right stripe. Scoop back up by Rothering. Along the flank she goes. Saraki on the counter. The quick give and go. Interrupted that time by Corbin. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw-in once again for the Concorde Fire. There's the throw-in. Hendrickson. Cleared away and out of bounds by the back line of Washington. And you know what's coming. Throw-in for the Concorde Fire. There's a throw-in. Still trying to scoop it back up from the skies. Shot across and the stop. A friend of mine likes to call those acorns. The cross shots that end up being save opportunities for the goalkeeper because they end up going straight at goal. Long kick up the field, over to scoop it on defensive labor is Flora. Back to her goalkeeper. Over there, a player to put on some pressure. Too little, too late. Trying again for Atlanta. Atlanta trying to set the pace of this contest. Glisson along the stripe, leaves one behind, leaves two behind. Kick to the far post. Who's over there? Looks like Ammon. Ammon bounces off a defender. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be a throw-in deep in Washington territory for the Concorde team. If you're just joining us, the Concorde Fire from Atlanta, Georgia, dressed in white, and the Washington Crossfire dressed in blue are tied at 0-0. We're here about halfway into the first half of play in this Elite Clubs National League playoff game. I'll tell you something more about it because here comes the Crossfire. There's Woodward entering the box. Woodward, no foul. Good maneuver defensively by the Concorde. Along the stripe goes Ammon. Looking that time for Glisson. First on it is the Crossfire goalkeeper. The triangulation, gaining some ground. Suter. Nobody warming up on either bench so far. Coaches must like what they see, other than the scoreboard, of course. Washington inching slowly along the right flank. The kick bounces off Hendrickson. Recovered for Atlanta by Rodriguez. Rodriguez and Holman. Holman across the center alley. Over to chase it is Dwight. First on it is the Concorde team. At midfield, running upfield. Straight up the shot, the pass I should say, by Rivera. Doesn't quite work. Rivera trying again. The delivery goes to a Washington player. So along the flank goes Flora. The quick give and go. Flora. The daisy cutter. Good opportunity that time for Rothering. The collision there. Two players down, one for each team. Play continues. Referee says. And now the Crossfire has the ball deep in their own half of the field. Hyatt. Along to the left side for Flora. The daisy cutter stopped by Saraki. Saraki sends it out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for Washington. We're approaching the 22nd minute of play here at Redmond's 60-acre park. The Crossfire trying to move along the right flank. Shot across. The header! And a good effort that time by number 20, Rothering, for the Crossfire. And an even better stop by Krasowski. She's had not a whole lot of work Krasowski has so far, but when her number has been called, she has been outstanding. Throw in for the Crossfire right at midfield, backing up to the back three. To the center back, Hyatt. That one's Suter. Marked by Ammon. Across midfield it goes for Briscoe. She's fouling the marker. Play continues. Crossfire retain control. Back to Briscoe it goes, right in front of us. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be throw-in for the Atlanta squad. Ott. Another throw-in. Recovered by the Crossfire. Marked by 3 now. She threads the needle. Pushing back up the line, and dangerous play called by the referee. Leg up, they called it in the old country. And it will be, and it is, Crossfire ball. Now playing along the left flank, Flora. Schultz, shot across, and the hands of Krasowski for the Concorde team. Krasowski rolling right. Zaraki, Rodriguez. Back to Saraki. Taken away by the Crossfire. Corbin. Briscoe. Good triangulation. The through ball doesn't quite work. And Krasowski will take care of this one. Rolling to her right once again. Long kick up the stripe. Across midfield it goes. The stop by Crossfire doesn't quite work. And now the clearing across midfield. Once again scooped up by the Atlanta team. The rejection by the Crossfire. Over chases is Briscoe. First on it is Atlanta via Ammon. Across midfield to the center alley. McGinney. Good give and go. Back to McGinney. McGinney. Ammon. She enters the box. The shot across. McGinney's going to try with left foot. There it is. Bounces off a defender. Trying again for Atlanta is Ott. There she is. Ott. Shakes off a defender. In the turns. Pushing it upfield. Looking for a foul was McGinney. She gets no call. Play continues. Crossfire trying like a kitten against the wall. Defending like crazy. Trying to retake the control of the action here in Redmond. Foul call against the Atlanta team. Pushed upfield. Dwight. And Krasowski. Goal kick for the Concorde Fire. Right of midfield. Pushed back by the Washington team before Dwight could connect. The rejection by the Concorde. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be Washington ball, and it is on a throw-in. McGinnity. Rejected that time by Wall. Pass to Derricks, the goalkeeper. Rolling to her right. Hyatt. Straight up the center alley for Rothering. Inching closer to midfield. The touch for Flora. Along the stripe it goes. A bit too long. A bit too wide. A bit too fruitless. Throw in for the Atlanta squad. Quickly motion. Bounces off a Washington player who lost sight of the ball, but Briscoe didn't. She tries to pull the trigger. Can't quite do it. There's Dwight back to Corbin. Corbin the shot and the stop. Right at the hands of Krasowski. Krasowski with the goal kick. Quite the goalkeeper, that one. Quite the goalkeeper. Pushed upfield by Atlanta. The stop in midfield by the Washington team by Dwight. Leaves one behind. Shakes a couple of them, actually. Approaches the box along the stripe. Bounces off a defender. Tries again. Now approaches the box from the front. The quick touch. And the ball slips out of her right foot. And Atlanta takes good opportunity to lead this quick counter along the left side. Glisson. Bounces off a defender. Tries again. Touch to the side for Gastaldi. Gastaldi straight up the middle. Looking forward is McGinnity. Cleared away partially. Hendrickson trying again for the Concorde. Rivera. Hendrickson. And now the defense of the Washington squad. Corbin. Trying again is Atlanta. The shot over the crossbar. not a major worry for the goalkeeper, Derricks, for the Washington Crossfire. We're still tied at 0-0. In the last group game for either one of these teams, let's not forget that each team has won one game and have tied another. So the points that are in play are pretty big here at 60 Acres Park, I beg your pardon. Goal kick for the Crossfire. The clash of heads at midfield. Scoot back up. The Atlanta squad. Ammon. Rodriguez. A bit too long for McGinnity. Good stop that time by the Crossfire defense, led by Derricks. To the flank for Hyatt, it looks like. A quick give and go. Schultz. Back to Washington territory. Washington trying to set the pace. And now, to restart something along the right flank, Suter. Marked by Ammon. Suter. Good ball that time. Dwight trying to get a shot across. Does. Who's waiting for it? There's the shot. Here it is! And this much, and I do mean this much wide. A good effort that time by the Washington Crossfire via number 11. It looked like Schultz to bring some danger. Goal kick. Goal kick for the Concorde Fire. There's a quick recovery by Crossfire, gaining confidence after that play. They seem to be getting a bit of a second win here. Dwight backing up for Suter, top of the box. Clear away to McGinnity for the Atlanta team, marked by 2. Quickly overcome, and a shove there at the end. Play continues, says the referee. Tried again as Schultz. Shot across, and it dances over the top of the crossbar to go out of bounds. Couple of good opportunities here as we get past the halfway point of the first half of play. Washington Crossfire from Redmond, Washington, and the Concorde Fire from Atlanta, Georgia, still tied at 0-0. Goal kick. Cleared away by the Washington back line. Rejected once again by Holman for Atlanta. Rivera. Across midfield on the right side. McGinnity can't quite control. Pushing it again is Glisson. Scooped up by the back line. Glisson still battling. Backing up a little bit. Along the flank go the Concorde Fire. The shot to the far post. And Ms. Derricks will watch it go by, but not entirely worry-free because play continues, and we have a substitution here for the Atlanta team. Actually, 2 of them. And we see, nobody warming up yet for the Crossfire. It'll be number 16, Rivera, taking a seat. And looks like number 28, Ammon, also catching a breather. We'll tell you in a second who has joined this contest. Only 3 subs were given to us as part of the Atlanta contingents. Number 4 and number 7. Number 4, Colangelo, and number 7, Vogel for the Concorde Fire. Sadaki. Pushed back upfield for the Crossfire by Rothering. Ball goes out of bounds after the rejection by Hullman, and it should be Crossfire, Washington Crossfire ball. There's the throw-in. Rothering. Corbin leaves one behind. Good daisy cutter there. The shot across by Schultz. Bounces off a defender, and over to scoop it up is Krasowski. Right at the upper edge of the box. Long kick up the field. Trying to head it further up is an Atlanta player. That doesn't work, but looks like Atlanta's up to something here, because Vogel and Colangelo have teamed up now. There's Colangelo. Well marked by two. Ooh, almost makes a pass. Good takeaway by Washington. Pushed upfield, looking for Briscoe. To her goes. Has to back up a little bit. Kicked upfield across midfield. A good stop. Nice move. Good technical effort that time by Holman. Along the flank it goes. Over to chase it is Colangelo. She's well covered though. She's got two players on her. Colangelo trying to shake off Suter, it looks like. The heel pass. And the assistant referee says flag is up. One of those two players in white was offside. None of that will count. It will be indirect free kick for the Washington Crossfire. We have 10 minutes left in this, the first half of play, an entertaining first half that has the Washington Crossfire and the Atlanta-based Concorde Fire tied at 0-0. We have two players for Washington taking a seat, number 24 and number 10. That would be Corbin and Suter. We'll tell you in a second who takes their place. One of them is number 3, Hazlitt, and the other one, we're waiting for her to turn around so we can see her jersey number. Number 27, Young. Whoa, the header right at us. And it's a really nice ball they're playing with. Clear away by Atlanta. Quick touch to the side, shading to the right. Vogel. Taken away by Young. Pushed upfield along the stripe. Good move that time by Schultz. She's been a constant headache. Schultz going to deliver a shot across. Who's there waiting for it? And the ball dances in front of the goal. The referee says it's goal. It's a 1-0 lead for the Washington Crossfire. The ball danced in front of the goal, went up, hit the underside of the crossbar, came down, and that must have been the moment when it landed. It must have landed past the goal line, because it's a 1-0 lead for the Crossfire here with about 9 minutes left in the first half. The ball bounced off, and it looked like Corbin was really trying to sink it in as the ball danced in front of the goal, but that's when the referee whistled and signaled with his hand that the ball had actually made it across the goal line. And had opened the scoring here. 1-0 lead for the Washington Crossfire. Crossfire had undoubtedly made at least the goalkeeper of the opposing team, Krasowski in this case, work harder than Concorde had, even though for a long stretch of time it looked like all the Crossfire was doing was defending, was just trying to get the ball out of their own half of the field. But that's the way soccer works, folks. Along the stripe goes Atlanta. They're going to have to take a few more chances here. Schultz. Hammond. Taken away by Hazlitt. Along the stripe she goes. Hazlitt. Shot across. And it, for a split second, looked like a goal, but it was actually shaking the net from the outside. So we're going to have one more substitution. One player for Atlanta is leaving the field rather gingerly. It's number 6, Glisson. Hopefully she's all right. Actually, she doesn't seem to. She seems to be talking to one of the coaches. We will have number 28, Briscoe, take a seat for the Washington Crossfire. We'll tell you in a second who takes her place. No, Miss Glisson comes right back. Referee stops the throw-in for Atlanta. And says it still will be a goal kick for a team from the Sun Belt. Along the stripe go the Concorde Fire. Hendrickson. Touch along the stripe. Trying to get past the marker. It looks like Twite was the marker. They got left behind. Shading over to the center alley. Vogel, the shot. 30 yards, I would say. I would say maybe 23, 24, more realistically. And the stop by Derricks, the goalkeeper for Washington. Beck is the new player for Crossfire. Woodward backing up a little bit for Hyatt. There's Hyatt. Waiting for it on the right is Young. Instead, she chooses the express lane. Along the stripe it goes. Over to chase it is Beck. First on it is Rodriguez on defense for Atlanta. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for the Crossfire. It was Hendrickson, actually, not Rodriguez. And taking a few ticks off the clock there. There it is. Beck battling against the other number 7, Vogel. Along the stripe it goes. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be Crossfire ball once again. Back to Beck. Back to bouncing it off an opponent. Then Vogel on the half bicycle kick doesn't quite work. It just bubbles over her head. And it goes out of bounds. Throw in once again. Play put quickly into action. And another throw in yet. Young. Beck. To her left is Hazlitt. Instead she chooses to deliver a shot to the heart of the box. Trying again is Hazlitt into the box. Cleared away by Loxton. Another substitution for the Atlanta team. That one's McGinnity. Marked by 2, leaving 2 behind. She's being fouled. She's being clearly fouled. Referee says play on. Rodriguez trying to get some room for that right foot of hers. There's the shot. Vogel. Ball goes wide. Referee says goal kick for Washington. I would still like to know who scored that goal. Maybe I'll ask one of the referees at halftime. Taking some ticks off the clock now. Long kick up the field. Beck. Hazlitt. Switching over to the side. Cleared away by Atlanta. Concorde. McGinnity. Taken back by Washington. Pushed upfield. Hazlitt. Marked by Ott. Hazlitt. And Woodward. Switching over to the left side. Schultz. This one's got some speed. Pushing it upfield to a teammate instead. Across the front of the 6. Cleared away by The defense and the shot with more optimism than accuracy that time by Young. Still, good moments, good times for the Crossfire, leading 1-0 when we have just about 2 minutes left in regulation. Goal kick coming. Krasowski. Stopped by Dwight. Recovered for Concorde by, looked like Logsdon. Whistle on the play. Foul called. It should be Atlanta ball. Concorde ball, I should say. Hallman. Recovered by Washington. The through ball. Flag is up. They say Schultz was offside. Now the referee catches on. Nothing of that will count. Indirect free kick for the Concorde Fire, trailing 1-0 here in Redmond, Washington. There's the kick. Along the stripe. Over chase it. It was McGinnity. Can't quite get to it. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for Washington. Taking care of this one. Looks like Flora, number 17. These are the Elite Club National League Group Playoffs from Redmond, Washington. Sebastián Moraga on the commentary. Pleasure to have you with us today. Saraki. Ball goes out of bounds once again. Throw in for Washington once again. Play resumes. Cleared partially by Young. Corbin. Pushing it upfield now. Waiting for it is Hazlitt. To her it goes. Hazlitt leaves one behind, enters the box. Let's see what she's going to do. The shot across doesn't quite work. Over to chase it is Beck. Cleared away first by Atlanta, but only partially. Here comes the Crossfire. The move between Ruthering and Corbin doesn't quite work. Quickly on the counter is the Concorde team. Taken away once again by the Crossfire. Suter. Now recovered by Colangelo. Straight up. Looking for Glisson. But first, the goalkeeper for Washington Crossfire, Derricks. Shading to her right for Suter. Beck. Recovered by Concorde. Hendrickson. Whistle says that's the end of the first half with the Washington Crossfire from Redmond, Washington leading 1-0 over the Concorde Fire from Atlanta, Georgia. We'll be right back with the second half. Don't go away. And we're back in action here at Acre Park in 60 Acres Park, I should say, here in Redmond, Washington, with Redmond's Washington Crossfire taking care of business from right to left on your screen, and Atlanta's Concorde Fire doing their thing from left to right. The score, a 1-0 lead so far for Washington Crossfire, thanks to a up and down, a mouth of the goal tally by Woodward. I'll tell you more in a second after this, because here come the Concorde Fire. Collision at the edge of the box, no call. Quickly recovered by Washington. Pushing along the stripe is Hazlitt. Hazlitt, flag is up. Foul call. Moving it right there quickly into action is the Concorde Fire. Scooped just as quickly back by Hazlitt. Beck. The quick give and go. Good ball that time for Schultz. Schultz, the single mano a mano with the goalkeeper. He's going to try to lead behind. Goal, 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 goal! Goal, Washington Crossfire. A good maneuver, a good combination between, it looked like Beck and Schultz. And Schultz, who was a trouble, a terror for most of the first half down the left flank, makes this a 2-0 lead. The first goal was a little hard to tell because it bounced off the underside of the crossbar and then came down inside the goal. But this one, no question about it. So in the second or third minute, first in this second minute of the second half, Schultz make this a 2-0 affair for Washington Crossfire. Couple of days ago in Boise, Idaho, at another tournament, we saw a team require a little more than a half to bring back a 2-0 deficit and turn it into a 3-2 win. The Concorde Fire have a little less than a half to do it, but we've seen strange happen in between the chalk lines. Corbin, ball goes out of bounds. It should be throw-in for the Concorde Fire. The goal, first goal by Woodward in the 35th minute of the first half. Here come, looking for the through ball, rejected by the back line of Washington. Beck. Along the right stripe goes Hazlitt. The turn to shake the defender off. Still battling with it. Looks like Loxton. Shot across, doesn't quite work. Bounced off a defender. It will be a corner kick. Third one off the game by my count for the Washington Crossfire, who now lead 2-0. Been a hard-fought game, but an amazingly, well, not amazingly, but a very clean game for sure. No reason to issue any so far yellow, much less red cards. Along the right stripe goes Young, trying to get a shot across. Cleared away partially by the back line of the Concorde Fire, recovered by Hazlitt. Has to back up quite a bit there. Flora. And the goalkeeper, Derricks, back to Flora. Marked by an Atlanta player that hits the deck, slips on the grass. Pushing it upfield is Schultz. Marked that time by Rodriguez. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be a throw-in for Washington. There's the throw-in. Cleared away by Hendrickson. Throwing once again for the Crossfire. These are the Elite Club National League Group Playoffs from Redmond, Washington. Beck bounces off Beck on the clearing. Over to chase it is Saraki. She keeps it alive. Delivers it to her goalkeeper. No, the ball must have gone out of bounds because there she is. Miss Krasowski touching it with her hands. Krasowski on the goal kick. Everybody gets paired up. Kick just shy of midfield. The header by Rothering and clearing. Not exactly dripping with finesse, but it will work for now. By Atlanta. Throw in for Washington. Along the left stripe into Atlanta territory. Clear away by Hendrickson. And then by Ammon. Plenty of soccer left. I really hope we're not seeing any desperation just yet from the Atlanta team. All these wild kicks out of bounds. They've shown that they can bring danger to the opposing gate. There's Beck. The through ball that time looking for Schultz. Over to get it for the Concorde is Hallman. Ball goes out of bounds. And another corner kick, the fourth one by my count. All the corner kicks in this game so far favoring the Washington Crossfire. All but 3, 4, 5 players inside the Atlanta box. There's a shot by Schultz, it looks like. She backs up all the way into her own half of the field. Wall. Flora. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be a throw-in for Atlanta. That pass by Flora looked to connect with the Rothering along the stripe. Didn't quite work. Throw-in to Gastaldi. Ball bounces off an Atlanta player. Throw-in for Washington. The throw-in will be repeated. Looks like number 17 took a few too many steps as she delivered that throw-in. Looking for Beck. To her goes. Beck bounces off her feet. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw-in for the Concorde Fire. A header. Cleared away by Wall. One more throw-in. This time it'll be Saraki taking care of it for the Concorde Fire. Charge from behind was number 20 Rothering by the other number 20 McGinnity. It will be a free kick. The Washington Crossfire deep in their own half of the field. 2-0 the lead for Washington Crossfire of Redmond in Redmond, Washington against the Concorde Fire from Atlanta, Georgia. Gastaldi across the equator. Stopped that time by Woodward. Hazlitt. The quick give and go. Scooped away by Atlanta player. Play continues. Referee says no foul. It looked a little rough for my taste. Putting some pressure now, Atlanta is. The Concorde is. The good ball that time along the left flank. Looking for McGinnity. McGinnity loses it before she can connect with Ammon. Pushed upfield by Washington. Beck. She's not the fastest player, Beck, but she does know how to treat the ball well. She's a good friend of the ball. Rarely do you see her flummoxed. Rarely do you see her not know what to do with the ball on her feet. Free kick for the Concorde Fire, and it will be Saraki taking care of it. It's almost, I would say, maybe 12 yards past midfield on the Washington half of the field. The referee says that kick should be repeated. clear to me what he found wrong with that kick. But we will do it again from the top. There's the kick, top of the box, header, unintentional handball that time by Hallman. The kick by Ammon, top of the box, whistle on the play. And it looks like that a more intentional handball in the eyes of the referee. Indirect free kick for Washington Crossfire, leading the Atlanta Concorde Fire 2-0. 1 goal in each half so far. Wall. Twite. Pushing it upfield, looking for Concorde's McGinnity. Cleared away by Derricks. And the ball goes. Throw-in for the Crossfire. This is the Elite Club's National League Group Playoffs from Redmond, Washington. There's a throw-in. The Concorde pushing it upfield, looking that time for McGinnity. Trying to is Hallman. Hallman straight ahead. McGinnity. The quick touch. This one has got some speed is Ammon. Backs up a little. Scooped up by Hendrickson. Hendrickson, the turn. Hendrickson, the shot. And the hands of Derricks, the goalkeeper for the Washington Crossfire. Long kick up the field into Concorde territory. Over to wait for it is Flora. Shows the sides on a personal maneuver. Leaves Saraki behind. The shot across! And before anyone can connect, it was Miss Hendrickson clearing it out of the box. This becoming a 3-0 game for the Crossfire. Trying again. Along the flank is Haslett. Haslett will back way up for Flora. Flora. That one's Woodward, scorer of the first goal. And defensive header. That took some guts, I have to say. Good effort that time by the center back. Looks like Colangelo that time for the Concorde Fire. Hyatt. Straight upfield. Over to chase it is Haslett. First on it is Krasowski. Clearing it out of the way and out of bounds. Throw in for the Crossfire. That one, excuse me, that one was Beck. Beck moving it upfield. Looks like for Haslett. Shot across, bounces off a defender. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, yes, another corner kick. The 5th one of the game for either team, and the 5th one for the Crossfire. There's the kick. Far post, the header. A good try that time by Hyatt. Goal goes over the crossbar. Not a major problem for the goalkeeper, Krasowski. 2-0, the lead for Washington Crossfire over the Concorde Fire. Rivera, marked by 2 Washington players. Gastaldi. Pushed upfield, and before Colangelo can connect, she clears it with one of her teammates. Whistle on the play, yes. A collision without the ball that the referee has judged intentional, sending the Washington player to the ground. It will be a free kick for Washington Crossfire. The player that took the fall that time was number 12, Woodward. Here comes the free kick. When we have approached the 29th minute mark here in the second half. And the Crossfire is still leading 2-0. A long push along the flank by McGinney. Good clearance by the Washington Crossfire. Rivera, Suter, and then the header. Backline by the left fullback of Washington. Saraki. Ott. Cleared away by Woodward. Pushing it upfield. Remove a Schultz. She's going to try to stay on side. Can't quite do it. Some of the with that call say that she was in line with the last defender, which makes her onside. But still, the call has been made, and it will be an indirect free kick for the team from Atlanta, Georgia, the Concorde Fire. There's a long kick inside the box. Ms. Derricks will let her sail by in front of her, and it will be for Washington Crossfire. I had the chance to watch a couple of young players do some juggling tricks with the ball at halftime, and one of them did the one where you hook your stronger leg around the back of your and kick the ball that way. Along the flank goes Haslett. Haslett trying to get a shot across. Will she make it? She goes on the personal maneuver, and the shot by Scholes rattles the crossbar. Haslett trying again. Referee says no foul. Looked to me like she was shoved aside, but I don't have the flag or the whistle. That time by Haslett, dragging behind her and delivering a shot. A cross shot and basically an assist. Or at least a would-be assist if that crossbar hadn't interrupted. Well, like I was saying, well, as play resumes now with a goal kick for the Concorde Fire. I only know that play by the name of Rabona, which is what they called it in South America, which is where I'm from. So I said, oh, hey, Rabona. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He never heard that word before. It is a little dated, I'll admit. It's from the 1980s, made popular by a player named Claudio Borgi, who played for AC Milan in the time of Ruud Gullit and Frank Rijkaard and Marco van Basten and all those luminaries. He's the one who made it popular. He used to say that he could never learn how to kick with his weaker legs, so he had to learn how to hook his stronger leg around it and deliver shots that way. There's a kick, cleared away partially by the back line of the Concorde Fire. Trying again is Rothering. Taken away by Rivera. The ball goes out of bounds and right at the camera well up above us. And now on the top of our tent. And now finally to the sideline. Saraki looking for a very well guarded Colangelo. She still delivers a shot across. Gastaldi. Gastaldi and Ammon. Ammon, the shot, bounces off a defender. And look at that, a corner kick. This time favoring the Concorde Fire. It looks like Saraki will take care of it. The first one of the game, by my count, that will benefit the Atlanta team. Two 2-0 lead for Washington Crossfire against the Concorde Fire of Atlanta, Georgia, here in Washington, 60 acres park. A considerable amount of people enjoying this wonderful day. It's really warm too, but there's a nice cool breeze keeping everybody, or at least we hope keeping everybody comfortable, rather than overly warm. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for Washington Crossfire. The referee says it belongs to the Concorde Fire, and the Washington Crossfire in protest sends the ball in my direction. Because you know it was my fault. There's the throw-in by Saraki. The quick give and go. Doesn't quite work. Cleared away. Trying again is Rivera. Top of the box. Rivera! And a bit wide, but it still forces the goalkeeper, Derricks, to take a diving shot at it to her left. Good effort that time by the Concorde Fire player. Derricks taking care of this goal kick. Checks. Backs up a handful of steps. Looks out, looks left, looks right, and delivers. Long kick, almost right to midfield. Pushed back up by the Concorde Fire. A good shot that time to the right flank, looking for Rivera. Rivera trying to keep it in bounds. Succeeds, but it bounces off a defender, so the ball will go out of bounds. It will be Concorde ball. Do we have a substitution coming up? I think I saw the referee glancing towards the benches. Yes, we have one substitution. It's for Atlanta. It's for the Concorde Fire. But it won't take place quite yet. Saraki on this throw-in. Saraki. Good move that time. McGindy. Cleared away. Pushing back up is Hallman. The captain, Saraki. Rejected by the back line of Washington. Looking for Schultz. To her it goes, but first Hallman, who has several inches on Schultz, so she had no major problem taking over that particular header. Throw in for Washington. Substitution taking place. Beck. The dispute with Rivera. Cleared away by the Concorde Fire. It will be another throw-in for the Washington Crossfire. Taking care of it. Number 17, Flora. And cleared away almost back to the same spot by the Concorde Fire. Flora says she chooses to go straight ahead. The touch for Rothering. Twite. Rothering. To the back line. Hyatt. Opening the game up along the flank. Hazlitt. Flora. And the goalkeeper for the Concorde, Krzyzewski. A couple of Atlanta players already asking for the ball. Krzyzewski. Straight up to midfield. Defensive header doesn't quite work. Pushes the ball farther into Washington territory. There is a clearing. Recouped quickly by the Concorde Fire. Pushed upfield. Looking that time for McGinnity. Ball goes out of bounds. And we finally will have apparently that substitution. We have one apiece now. We have number 1, Wall, taking a seat for Washington Crossfire, and number 15, Hendrickson, taking a seat for the Concorde Fire of Atlanta, Georgia. We'll tell you in a second who takes their spots. As they approach us, we can't really see their jersey number. It looks like number 6, Glisson, has returned to the contest for the Concorde Fire as play has resumed. Number 28 Briscoe has returned to the contest for the Washington Crossfire. Just a quick give and go. It is Glisson. Glisson, the shot back to her, the quick triangulation. Tries to deliver a shot across, bounces off a defender, and it looks like another corner kick is coming for the Concorde Fire. As we approach the last half of the second half with a little over 20 minutes left of play. There's the corner kick. Low into the center of the box. Cleared away by the defense, and it will be a throw-in that Ms. Saraki will take care of herself. Saraki. Torso maneuver by Concorde Fire doesn't quite work. Scooped up by the back line. There's Haslett pushing it upfield, looking for Schultz. Schultz, this one's got some speed. She's being fouled, no call. Schultz, shot across. Who's there to scoop it up? The flag was up. It looks like Haslett connected with Schultz in the center of the box. But the flag was up. None of that counted. Good maneuver, and once again, Schultz, a nightmare for the back line of the Concorde Fire, especially along the left. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be Concorde ball. Guinea. That one is Colangelo. Recovered by Washington, only partially. Battling for it now is Gastaldi. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for Washington. Taking care of it right in front of us here is Woodward, who will let teammate Flora do the honors. Oh, the half bicycle kick looked mighty nicely for Briscoe. Briscoe and Schultz. Now Briscoe waiting for her in the heart of the box. Schultz approaching. Inside the box she goes. She's going to do the personal maneuver. She's going to leave it wide open for Briscoe and make it 3-0 Crossfire. A brilliant play between Briscoe and Schultz. Schultz to Briscoe, and the score is now 3 Washington Crossfire, 0 Concorde Fire. The goal in the 20 so the goal in the 27th minute almost of the second half of play. Atlanta trying to make a dent in the scoreboard now. Gastaldi, cleared away. Trying again is Ammon. Ball goes out of bounds. It should be thrown for the Concorde Fire. Impressive output so far by the Washington Crossfire. 3 goals by 3 different players. Flora trying to clear it out. He does just that, but last one to touch it had a white jersey on, so will be Washington Crossfire ball. We're still waiting. The referee has indicated that it's a free kick. And they, as of yet, are unbeaten. At least in this game, Miss Derricks takes care of it. Taken away by Gastaldi. Gastaldi pushing it upfield for Rivera. Rivera. The shot and the hands of Derricks. She may not be as bombastic in some of her saves today as Krasowski is, but she is a warranty under the 3 tube. She keeps things calm. She's not too flashy. She has excellent location. She always seems to know where to stand to stop a shot. A good effort as demonstrated by the as of yet clean sheet she holds by Ms. Derricks. Long kick up the field. Pushed back by Concorde. Over chase it is Glisson. First runner is Flora. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be thrown for Atlanta for the Concorde. Flora and Woodward putting it into play. There, whistle on the play, foul called. It will be a free kick for the Concorde. Concorde Fire. Ms. Saraki will take care of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite yet 5 yet. 5 players in white trying to enter the box. Now there's only 3. Right at the edge, too. Everybody trying to stay on side. Clearly this is a set piece coming. They're not improvising. They've done this before. The only kind of sort of Lone Ranger is Glisten, and she's still very well marked by Flora. Along the upper edge of the box, the ball goes. Trying to push it back upfield is Vogel. Marked by 2, Vogel. Recovered by Washington. Along the stripe it goes for Hazlitt. Recovered for Concorde once again by Saraki. Marked by Woodward. Saraki opening the game up that time. Ammon trying to get a shot off. Trying again is Glisten. And the stop by the goalkeeper Derricks for Washington Crossfire. The long kick up the field is responded to by the Atlanta team. Along the left flank goes Gastaldi, but there's a whistle on the play, foul called. It should be Crossfire ball in Crossfire territory. And Washington leading 3-0 here in Redmond, Washington. The first goal in the 31st minute, Woodward. Second goal in the 2nd minute of the second half by Schultz, and the third goal with an assist by Schultz by Briscoe. I'll tell you more in a second after this. Because of the chases goes Glisten, and she's fouled right at the D, and we're going to see the first yellow card of the game. It looks like it's going to go. It looks like it's going to go to Woodward. First yellow card of the game, and a good opportunity here for Atlanta to get a little closer, perhaps test the reflexes and the dexterity of Derek, the goalkeeper. Derek for Washington Crossfire. First yellow card late in the second half, which tells you it's been a rather clean game. This has not been a case of a referee letting players hit. He's erred on the side of letting players play. 4 on the wall. Looks a little too close right now. And direct free kick. The shot, not a problem. Goal kick for Washington. 3-0 here in Redmond. The Elite Clubs National League Playoffs. With this result, Washington Crossfire's record improves to 2 wins and a tie, and the Concorde Fire basket gets filled with 1 of each. 1 loss, 1 win, and 1 tie. Goal kick coming for the Crossfire when we have about 13 minutes left, and this is the second half of play. A quick move that to the races. Enters the box. Shoulder across. Tries to connect with somebody. Goal, 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 goal! And the tandem of Schultz and Briscoe strikes again. 4-0 the score now for Crossfire. And truly, they have had, Briscoe has had a great game, but they have, the Concorde has had no response all game long for the left winger dressed in blue. So, in the 2nd minute of the first half, and in the 32nd minute of the second half. Briscoe with her second, fourth over. And now we can call this a rather comfortable lead for the Washington Crossfire. Good clearing that time by Wall, interrupting the play along the flank. Another throw-in coming for the Concorde Fire. Saraki. Once again, another interruption. Throw-in for the Concorde. We're going to have a substitution, a couple of them as a matter of fact. 1, 2, if not 3. 3. It's going to be Haslett, it's going to be Schultz, and it's going to be number 17, Flora, taking a seat for the Washington Crossfire. I would be surprised if I saw Schultz at the very least play any more minutes today, especially with a 4-0 lead. Let's see who are the replacements, who are the subs getting some playing time. First is Witherspoon, number 14. Number 2, McCaughey. And we'll tell you who the third one is in a second, because here come the Concorde Fire. Good take away that time by the Crossfire defense. Corbin pushing it upfield. Trying again. Scooped up by the Concorde Fire. Taking back once again. That clearing doesn't work. This could be interesting. There's McCaughey, but the referee says she was in an illicit position offside. I thought it was pretty close to in line myself, but I don't have the flag, and he's a darn sight closer to the action than I am. So we'll go with the experts on that one. 4-0, the score so far here in Redmond, Washington. The Washington Crossfire, we'll tell you more in a second. Comes Atlanta on the shot from about 12 yards out. Goes over the crossbar. A good effort by Glisson. Bounces off a defender, it looks like, before it went to past the crossbar. A corner kick for the Concorde Fire of Atlanta, Georgia. Sadaki, as always, taking care of this one. 4-0 lead, as we said, for Washington Crossfire over the Concorde Fire of Atlanta. There's kick coming. Far post! And a smart play that time by Sadaki, trying to surprise, trying perhaps for an Olympico, a corner kick goal. But as she's done all game long, Ms. Derrick's well located and with secure hands. Playing it at midfield. Woodward. By the back line of Washington. That was Weedman was the other sub that entered a little while ago. Whistle on the play. We'll see what the referee says. Looks like it will be a free kick. Yep, a free kick for the Crossfire. Derrick's almost playing like her own sweeper there, playing a little right at the 18 almost, a couple of yards before. There's the kick, cleared away, sent out of bounds by the back line of the Concorde Fire, and it should be a throw-in for the Crossfire. There's Corbin. Backing up for Rothering. Pushed upfield now. Corbin. Switching flanks to the left for Witherspoon. Leaves one behind. Briscoe. Briscoe, the turn. Corbin, back to Briscoe. The shot, bounces off defender. Trying again. Corbin. Cleared away by the Atlanta team. The touch looking for Glisson. To her it goes. Bounces off a defender. To Glisson. And once again, right at us. It should be Atlanta ball, should be Concorde Fireball, and it is. Sadaki to a very well populated back line of blue jerseys. Still Kalani only partially sent out of bounds by Witherspoon. No, Witherspoon will put it back into play. So the referee says the last player to touch it, a white jersey on. And we will have yet another throw in. Briscoe trying to keep it inbounds is Loxton. Doesn't quite work. Ball goes out of bounds. Washington ball. 5 minutes left in regulation. With, well, we can even say holding on at this point. They're just enjoying, I guess. Broad 4 lead. The Washington Crossfire over the Concorde, Atlanta, Georgia. The through ball. A bit too long that time for the Concorde Fire. Trying to get at midfield was Sadaki. Over to chase it is Loxton. Cleared away by Washington. Collision between two, and that one's going to hurt. That one's going to hurt, and the Washington player is still down. The Washington player is still down. A little bit too rough on that encounter, especially for a game that's 4-0. With just a handful of minutes left. And Woodward is the player, the scorer of the first goal. Gingerly getting back up to her feet. Looks like she got the wind knocked out of her, but she's vertical once again. Gets herself a nice little ovation. And now the two people in charge of this free kick share a couple of laughs while they're at it. Why not after our head? What can hurt, really? Taking care of this one, number 16, Hyatt for Washington. Hyatt. Long kick straight to the goal. No major problems that time for Krasowski. Krasowski had a sterling first half, but she's had a much tougher time of it in the second half. Picking it back up in midfield is Briscoe. Briscoe opening the game up to the right flank for Suter, it looks like. Suter to the top of the box. Flag is up. Foul called. Rolling to her left, the goalkeeper, Krasowski. Across midfield, the ball goes. Stopped there by Washington. Briscoe. Corbin, I beg your pardon. There's Corbin. Nope, doesn't quite get to her. Recovered by Fire. They head back up into their own half of the field. Rivera. Hallman. Straight up the circle. Recovered by Rothering. Leaves one behind. Rothering looks up. Magda Ott has to back up a little bit. Trying to gain Washington. Farther down the field. Corbin. Way back this time to midfield for Hyatt. Hyatt pushing it along the flank. Cleared away by the Concorde. At midfield. A Concorde player being fouled that time by Wall. Good call by the referee in my opinion. So we should only have a couple of minutes left here at 60 Acres Field, 60 Acres Park in Redmond, Washington. The touch for Glisson. The shot over the crossbar and wide. No major problems there that time for Derricks. 4 lead for the Washington Crossfire over the Concorde Fire from Atlanta, Georgia. 1 minute left. Your name. 1 minute left, as we said. Pushing it along the flank was Washington. Ran out of room that time. And the stop by the goalkeeper. There's the whistle that indicates Washington Crossfire have won this one by a score of 4-0. For Garrett Peterson, I'm Sebastián Moraga. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time.